What's going on, everybody out there? It's Popular Stranger, and we are back today with episode number 19 of the Philadelphia Eagles franchise in Madden 25. And the first season is winding down here, so I thought we'd do one of those housekeeping episodes where we check out the standings and the stats and all that. We only got 2 more games to go. We got Week 16 coming up, and we got the Bears in Philadelphia, our last home game of the season. And then we got to travel to Dallas for the season finale. And it doesn't really look like Dallas is threatening us for a playoff position. But as you can see in the NFC East standings here, we are tied right now with the Redskins. They own the tiebreaker because they did sweep us this year. So we're both sitting at 9-5. Let's take a look at some of the other standings throughout the NFL here. In the AFC North, where we will start, there's another close race right here. The Ravens and Bengals both sitting at 9-5. The Steelers not technically eliminated, sitting at 7-7. They would obviously have to win out and hope that the Ravens and the Bengals lose. In the AFC South, the Texans are 7-7. This is just an ugly division. I mean, 7-7, 5-9, and then 2 4-10 teams. In the AFC East, the Patriots have a pretty good lead there. They do have a 9-4-1 record, but it looks like they shouldn't have a problem locking up that division and winning that title. In the AFC West, the Broncos have clinched. They're 12-2. Chiefs 10-4. I remember last time we did one of these episodes, I think the Chiefs had a half a game lead on the Broncos. NFC North, Packers have clinched their division. Bears sitting at 6-8, so they're definitely still have something to play for here, trying to even it up with the Lions and the Vikings. In the NFC South, the Saints have clinched their division. Panthers not too far behind them, 3 games back, but we'll take a look at the wild card here in a moment, hopefully. Here it is, NFC East. Giants, I'm just laughing at them being 1-13. That's just hilarious. And then in the NFC West, both the Seahawks and the 49ers have clinched. So if I do my math correctly, there's 2 playoff spots. One of them's going to go there, so that's 3. There's 4 and 5. So pretty much a very close race here. I'm just thinking it's really going to be the division of the NFC, or the winner of the NFC East. Sorry, I'm trying to get back to it here. The winner of the NFC East will obviously go to the playoffs. And then that last wild card spot, I think it's going to go to whoever finishes second in our division. The Panthers are kind of right there. So this is crucial, man. We got to win out these last 2 games. Not only to try to win the division, but make sure we get in the playoffs. That would be a pretty big failure if we were to happen to lose. We can't lose focus like we did last week in Minnesota. That was a pretty bad loss, one that I wish I could get back. So let's take a look at this week's schedule, just to keep an eye on the Panthers and the Redskins here, and see who they got. Because, you know, maybe they're playing against each other, I'm not sure. So the Cowboys and the Redskins play, so we're going to be rooting for the Cowboys in that game, obviously. And then the Panthers play the Saints, so hopefully the Saints can beat the Panthers and kind of take them off of our worry list here. And then in Week 17, the Panthers are at the Falcons. The Redskins are at the Giants, so I can't really count on that loss. And then we get the Cowboys, so we really need the Cowboys to beat the Redskins this week, and we need to win out. I think that's the best scenario for us to go ahead and get the NFC East divisional title. So let's take a look at some of the league stats here. My phone's going crazy. I think my wife is texting me, so I'll be right back with some of the league leaders. Alright, so I'm back. Let's take a look at the league leaders here, see if Shady is still going for that rushing title. Hopefully so. Let's sort it up here by the NFL. They should just do that by default. I wish they would. So, let's see here. In passer rating, we still have Nick Foles barely hanging on to that lead. Oh, actually not barely, because Sanchez, Osweiler, I don't know if I pronounce his name wrong, and Vic are all up there. Those guys aren't starters, so we don't really have to worry about them. But Nick Foles there, 125.7 passer rating, and nowhere near close in the passing yards. I don't really pass too much. I do a lot more running in this series. He still has quite a few touchdown passes, though. It's pretty efficient. 2,620 passing yards and 29 touchdowns, 12 interceptions. Let's see who's leading the league in interceptions. I hope it's Eli, and yes, it is. That just makes me laugh even more. And I don't know why I hit my circle button because I just backed out of everything. So now we got to go through it again here to check out the rest of the stats. My bad, folks. My bad. All right, so let's check out rushing now. And hopefully Shady has the rushing title. It looks like he does there. We're going to go for 2,000 yards, so he pretty much has to have at least two 100-yard games. One of them needs to be 103. I think we can do that. That should not be a problem. He's averaging 7.6 per carry. Let's check out who's leading in touchdowns. He's got 19. He's way, way ahead of Adrian Peterson there, averaging a $1.28 per game. It looks like the math is still incorrect here, as Shane Vereen is averaging 413.3 yards per game. That's pretty amazing, right? Broken tackles, that's one that I would love to see if Shady's up there. Marshawn Lynch, no surprise, at number 1. And don't really see Shady up in the top 10, so that was something I wanted to see. I guess there's not really a stat for... oh my god, I pressed circle again. I'm just failing all over the place. I guess there's not a stat for broken ankles, but there is broken tackles. So let's try this again. Third time's a charm. This time we're going to go to receiving and see... Nope, that's not what we wanted. We're going to go to receiving here and see what we're doing in this category. If I got Jeremy Maclin up there at all. Don't see him at the top. And there he is, so a little far down the list, but he should have a 1,000-yard season. I'm pretty sure we can get him a little over 60 yards here in the last 2 games of the season. And then average receiving yards per game, 121.1 for Demaryius Thomas. Victor Cruz, 115. Going down the list, Megatron has 85.1. Don't see any of my guys. We do spread the ball around a lot, but Maclin there with 67.4. We'll check out the touchdowns as well. See who's leading that. Jordy Nelson with 12, Wes Welker with 10, Brandon Marshall with 10, Antonio Brown 9, Megatron 9, and there's Maclin with 8. I think, look at Brent Selleck has 7 too. He's up there. That's pretty good to see. So as I said, we do spread the ball around. I thought Deshaun, even though he missed a lot of time, I thought he'd be up there as well, but it looks like he has 5. Let's just lastly take a look at some of the defensive stats or standings. Luke Kuechly leading the league in tackles, no surprise there, with 145. Let's take a look at our sack leaders. It's going to be Lawrence Timmons. I believe he was up there earlier in the season as well. Eldon Smith, Geno Atkins, right on his back, along with Julius Peppers, Robert Quinn, and some other guys. And let's see who's leading the league in interceptions. I remember Richard Sherman was a little far behind. Looks like it's Morris Claiborne from the Cowboys. That's a little surprising. Wow, Honey Badger is up there as well. Richard Sherman with 6. I don't think we really have anybody up here. We have an ex-Eagle and Asante Samuel I just saw. But yeah, we don't really get many interceptions, unfortunately. So there are some of your defensive stat leaders. I don't think there's anything else really of importance here that I want to see. Maybe forced fumbles. But that's the stats, the standings, all that good stuff. And we'll be back with the next episode, episode number 20, to take on the Chicago Bears in Philadelphia. I hope to see you guys there. I'm out. Peace.